my calendar into the Great Grey Cliff so I don't lose track of time among these tides. It has 4 months like Mud Month and Goat March, but no month can ever hold a Tuesday because those days are cursed by some ancient spirit. Under this scorching sun, keeping order is what keeps me sane. This golden radiance makes my skin tingle while the sea sparkles like scattered diamonds over every reef. This light belongs to our Creator's glory today. The palm fronds are swaying in a rhythmic dance under this glorious sun. Look at Figa watching me with those big eyes, just judging my construction skills. I've named those 3 jagged rocks nearby today just for company. Don't worry, Wilson. You are still my favorite listener by a long way. This murky gray mist is swallowing the palms and turning every leaf into an emerald ghost before the storm hits us hard. The rain is starting to lash against my hair just like the night I first sparked a flame from dried wood. The way the sparks danced toward heaven in the stream of the sky there until I burned rural, and for one heartbeat, I felt truly alive again. It was as if God himself whispered through the smoke that even in this desolate place, man could forge his own light against the encroaching shadows. Now looking at you, Wilson, it reminds me of how a single spark can turn a desperate wilderness into home worth defending even when my bones ache from labor. I remember that first fires he is proof that we are never truly alone in this world of fate keeps our inner flame burning bright. That steady hum of the refrigerator back in my kitchen feels like it belongs on another planet compared to this damp wind's moan. I truly miss that sound now. Plan for today. Survive. Build something. Pretend the silence is peaceful. 2 out of 3 isn't bad. That first fire still haunts my dreams like a miracle. It was the moment this wild place finally became my home under God's watchful eye. Well, hello there, Tina. You certainly have some nerve waddling up to me in this dreary rain just to give us both such an inquisitive look. Built a wall today. It keeps nothing out, but it makes the loneliness feel more organized. If a ship sails past and nobody's rescued, did it even happen? Asking for a very stranded friend. Goodness gracious, little one, you're staring at me like I'm the only person left on this entire stretch of sand and salt. There, Mango. Your coat looks mighty regal against those gray clouds while you grace my humble construction site with your presence. Sweet heavens, little Mango, you're staring at me with such intensity that even Wilson would feel intimidated by your bold curiosity in this pouring rain. Look out there, Pippin. That tiny beast is braver than I am to be wandering around while the sky turns into a weeping gray mess. Behold, a bridge. Now I can reach the other side of the island and be lonely over there too. Look at that, little Pippin. You're far braver than me to roam these sands under such a glorious sun today. Well, hello, Piku. You are staring so intently that makes Wilson look like the shy one of our small company here. What do you want? The golden sand stretches out forever under this blazing sun, while those jagged palms stand tall against a sky that looks almost divine today. Wilson, tell me honestly if these digging holes are getting any deeper, or am I just trying to find some buried treasures? Give us an opinion. I still get the chills thinking about that night I finally sparked a flame against my shivering skin and danced like a madman around those dancing orange flames. That fire was my first real victory over this lonely land, even if it only lit up some dry wood and leaves. ice-heat blade and the rock still make my jaw ache when I remember how that rotting tooth finally gave way to silence and it blistered. This snow is turning everything white, so we need a sturdy cottage before our toes freeze solid into these very rocks. Look at Nico watching us work. This thick fog makes me feel like the only man left on Earth. But hey, Wilson and I are still plenty of company for one day. Everything is so white and ghostly today that I might have only 3 neighbors left on this rock, including Wilson's silent grin. Just us against the mist. Hey there, Bruno. You're quite a majestic fellow to be wandering through such thick fog as if you owned every tree in sight. Good heavens, Tofu. Your gaze is steady enough to pierce right through this blinding white veil. Are we sharing secrets or just admiring my latest work? Caught myself humming a song I can't name. The island steals my memories one tune at a time. Nature is quite clever at hiding its secrets since these camouflaged insects look just like twigs. I should learn that trick for stalking the local game in this snow. I once cast that bottle into the surf with my map of bark names etched deep inside for some lost soul to find. For 3 long days after its launch, I imagined a stranger's eyes widening as they traced Cove of Grace or Siren's Reach. They might have been laughing at my madness or weeping over their own solitude in some far-off land. The salt spray still stings my cheeks when I think about that tiny glass vessel carrying my secret world away. It was a desperate prayer whispered to the waves, hoping someone would finally know where I lived before the ocean swallowed me whole. Rain again. The sky just showing off how much water it has and I don't. Oh, look at you there. Bella, you seem quite content standing in this downpour while we struggle to keep our spirits dry today. Those waves took 3 of my rafts, but they couldn't take that moment when I dove into the surf for you. My lungs burned with salt, and panic while your bobbing head was all I could see amidst those crashing white caps. Thank God, Wilson, we both made it back to dry land together and safe. Found a flat patch of ground and nearly wept. You don't know luxury until you've lived on a slope. The air feels heavy like wet wool today. I must keep an eye on those peas. If they start heading home, it means a storm is brewing soon. Well, hello there, Bruno. You look absolutely magnificent grazing in this sunlight, as if you were the king of these very dunes. Made a tower so tall I can almost see my old life from up here. Almost. Three rocks, a bit of mud, and sheer spite. That's the secret to island architecture. Some men dream of yachts. I dream of a chair with a back on it. Those 2 pointer stars in the Great Bear's handle will lead me straight north if I ever find my way home. They stay steady while everything else on this island shifts like sand underfoot. Hey there, Kiwi. You look quite brave standing out here in all this gray rain as we try to keep our boots dry today. I must have... you. Mango, you seem remarkably stoic out there in this gray drizzle as if it were just another day of hunting. This settlement is finally taking shape against the gray sky. Even Tofu seems to admire my progress despite those heavy clouds. Bog Zaplak for these steady hands today. Look at you go, Peepo. You are moving through this mud like it's the finest ballroom floor in all of Europe. These jagged limestone pillars look like the teeth of some ancient giant rising from the surf under this golden sun. Bog Zaplak for such beauty. This relentless tropical glare is baking my skin until I feel like a piece of jerky. Wilson, we need more shade soon. The azure waves are dancing with those whitecaps today while Ruddy watches us from the distant grove. Bog Zaplak for this peaceful morning. Sit down closer to the flames, Wilson. Let me tell you about that night I first struck a spark against those dry logs. The air was thick with salt, but when that tiny orange glow finally caught and roared into life, it felt like my own soul had ignited in the dark. For one glorious moment, all of this island's crushing silence vanished as I danced around the heat until my throat burned from shouting at the heavens. It is a strange thing how fire can make you feel less alone than any person ever could. Now look at us here tonight. Bog Zaplak for another day survived under these stars. The earth has swallowed me whole, my final tomb in this wretched mud. Maja is judging my pathetic struggle while the sky prepares to drown our very souls. Talking to myself again. Good news is, I always agree with me. A garden, flowers. We're practically fancy now. The island's coming up in the world. Watch out there, Tofu. You are dodging those rays.
Subscribe and ring the bell.